Hi guys, today is Wednesday, May 3rd. Um, just kind of checking in. After I get done with this one, I'm also going to post a slideshow. I've got so many pictures, and at 71, there's a lot of pictures. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them in batches. I'm going to do the first 20 years. So, baby so 52 to 72, so that's age 0 to 20. Oh, yeah. Anyway, come on, brain, this morning. Um, I Everything else is about the same at this point. I just kind of wanted to do a little pre video prior to the slideshow, just kind of explain what I was going to do, what I was doing with just doing it in batches. Okay, the story. I used to, well, when I lived down in Los Angeles back in the 70s, 80s, I had a pet and plant care service that I would go into people's homes when they were away for vacation, business, whatever, and I'd take care of the pets and do whatever they needed around the house, watering plants, picking up the mail and newspaper. I'd open and close curtains so it would look like somebody was there. Of course, my car was in the driveway and they'd see people moving around, so it didn't look vacant. And that was what I did down there. And then in the early 2000s, I started in order to travel without it being too expensive. I started house and pet sitting around the country, the U.S., Mexico, Canada, Alaska, Hawaii, and I would stay at people's houses, take care of the pets and everything else, and the brain just isn't working well this morning. Just take care of everything. And what that did is I didn't have to pay for a hotel, a car, all that good stuff. And yet I was in a nice house, a neighborhood. I could kind of blend in with the locals. And sometimes I was at places for just a week, and sometimes as much as a month. And I have stories of things that happened, and they weren't always fun at the time, but they make for great stories afterwards. So, my very first one is called Don't Use the Garbage Disposal. I was at a house in Hawaii, on Kauai, and when I go into a place, I'd always have the customers. My camera's jiggling. I've got it on my lap, so it's jiggling. Um, I would always have the customers give me a list or walk me through everything. You know, if there's a little problem here, a little thing here, so you had to, this door doesn't quite close, and this such and such, and also deal, what the animals needed and all that good stuff. So when people live in a house, they tend to forget the problems that are there because they get used to living there. And so they don't tend to think about telling someone that there's a problem. So the people are gone, and they had a compost pile in the backyard, and they had a garbage disposal. Where I had been living for years, I didn't have a garbage disposal. I had a compost pile. So I was used to that. And about a week in, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to treat myself and use the garbage disposal. I I ate a lot of avocados and papaya while I was there, and so all of those rinds. And so one morning I decided, well, I'm just going to put the stuff in here. I'm going to feed it in slowly and use the garbage disposal. Well, I put it in, turned it on, and everything, it just shot back up. Everything was just coming back out. Well, I turned it off, but then the water was backing up, because you run the water when you're running the garbage disposal, and it was backing up into the kitchen, going out toward the living room, which was carpeted. I then went into the bathrooms, and sure enough, it was backing up in the showers, in the tubs, in the toilets. And I thought, oh Lord. So I turned everything off, turned the water off, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to use, this is a Friday afternoon, I knew I wasn't going to be able to use any water inside the house. And I'd been given the number of a friend that I could contact and care in terms of emergencies. And I thought, well, it's Friday. I'm not going to be able to get a plumber in today. I'm going to have to wait till Monday. And I contacted this lady, and she says, oh, they have a plumber. So she gave me the name and number, and I called him, and he says, oh, yeah, I'll be right over. So I thought, well, that's wonderful. So he came in, and in the process of trying to unplug the sink, I had bought some Drano, something like that, put it in there, and of course I ran some more water, and of course now I got more water coming up. And he came in, and I told him what I'd done, and he was not happy because Drano is an acid, and he says, I hate working with this stuff because it's nasty, the Drano. So he dealt with that. He got the snake in there. He got it cleaned out and running, and I cleaned everything up. And I felt really badly that I had created this problem. And he says, don't worry about it. He says, they've got me on retainer because their septic has been bad for years and they won't fix it. So I'm always having to come and fix it. And he says, that's why they use the compost pile. Of course, they didn't tell me that. So he got it all fixed. I cleaned up. And so that was on my list of, have a list of things that, you need to ask the owners and things to look for. And that became on my list. Ask people about their garbage disposal. So that is story number 1. And I'm going to, my next video, I'm going to post a slideshow of my pictures from age birth up to age 20. And I'm also going to post pictures of my mom and dad when they first got married. Because that's kind of where I got started. So the slideshow is next, and then after that I may do another slideshow again, doing 20 years or 10 years at a time, and then more talking videos. So I'll talk to you later, and take care.